I am really, really happy with the signing of Eliawahi. He's done a really good job for us this season. He's had a couple of flat moments, but on the whole, he's been really good. Ball in, looking for Maria, can't quite find it, but it's a mistake from Alex Ramiro, and Adam Hajek has got a goal. Oh, we need to see that again. How's it going, everyone? My name is Stu. Welcome to my Football Manager 2024 save here with Deportivo La Coruña. Thank you for joining me in today's video, which is part number 56. We're getting up there with them, and today we're going to be playing in the league against Real Sociedad, and we're going to try and extend the leads that we currently have in La Liga. And then we've got a little game against Manchester United in the Champions League semi-final. Yeah, and if you're excited to see how we get on in both of those games, of course, don't forget to leave a big like on the video for me. Don't forget to subscribe as well. It's completely free to do so, and you put a big smile on this face right here. What's not to love? So, if you haven't watched Save up until this point, welcome. Put your feet up, relax. Hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you want to see more, playlist above. We are today playing in what I would class as a standard La Liga game at home against Sociedad, who are in 13th. We, as it stands, are in second, but we have two games in hand. This is one of them. The second one is the main event of this one, Manchester United. And we have to point out, we didn't lose against them in the first leg, which is actually the last game I played. We drew against them 1-1, and we had 10 men for the final few minutes. There were 6 minutes of added time. Sacha Boey got sent off on the 88th minute. Mason Mount scored a disallowed goal on the 94th minute of 96. This was a problem. We'd also made all our substitutions, so we played the last part of the game with Ilic playing as a full wing-back, and the substitute Chris Furic who'd already come on as a right wing-back because he can sort of play there. It was very makeshift. It was very uncomfortable, but we got through it. It looks like we got battered here, but we had better possession than them. Our passing was better. We just couldn't get too many shots away, but the first half was full of highlights for us, as is shown by the fact that we went 1-0 up thanks to Ramon Maria, who after that goal didn't really do a lot. Bowie's unlucky. Did very, very well up until that point. He was having a really good game, but it is what it is. Other than that, since the last time you were with us for the final, I mean, it was only the two games, but we smashed Alaves and also beat Sevilla as well. So we're doing really well in the league. We'll focus on that for the time being. So, Real Madrid have dropped points again. They are ahead of us at the moment, but again, we've got two games in hand. If we win both of those two games, we go 5 points clear by my math. So if we win today, 95, 96, 97, 2 points ahead, 98, 99, 100, 5 points clear. So we have a real chance of putting a proper marker down against Real Madrid in today's video and really making it difficult. It's going to be so harsh on them. Look at their season. They haven't lost a game. We've lost one, only the one, but they haven't lost a single game. But they've drawn 5. And one of those was against us, another one against Barcelona as well. Their away games have really hit them. They drew against Getafe, they drew against Villarreal. They have had a bit of a, not a rotten season by the slightest, but they've had some rotten luck. They've scored so many goals, especially compared to us. But it's our defence that's made the difference. That is reflected in the profile. Carnesecchi has kept 5 clean sheets more than Real Madrid's keeper. We had a weakness with our defence. Carnesecchi, the growth of Herculano, the kind of enforcements around those two, that has definitely helped it. And we also helped with the top goal scorer in the league. And I also haven't shown you this. Season preview, even though we're halfway through, well, most of the way through the season, in fact, we've got 2 players on there, Herculano and Salvador. That says everything about what we're about, I think. Anyway, that's enough waffle. Actually, there's one more thing. I don't know whether I can show you it, but I will tell you it. Chris Furic, player of the month for the month of April. At 32 years old, when he's looking to leave the club, he puts in a month like that. He's put himself in the shop window. Now, this is going to be the 11 for the game against Sociedad. Again, it is at home at the Riazor. And again, I haven't still checked whether that's the right way to say it or not, so apologies, any Deportivo fans. We have got a few issues. I have rotated from the last Real Madrid game. So used to playing them. The last Manchester United game. I have rotated from that game. But we've also been forced into a little bit as well. Now, I'm not playing Sacha Boey because he can't play in the next game. But we also have the problem that Martinez will be fit in 4 days. But I don't know if that's going to be enough time for him to be ready. So we're starting Vandenberg because he's probably going to be the right back for the Champions League. So I want to get him a few minutes as a right back. I have got Bowie on the bench just in case. We are missing Herculano for this one. He was suspended for the Champions League first leg, which makes it even more impressive that we managed to hold on for a draw. But he did pick up another knock. He was fit for this game, and he's picked up a little knock. He should be back for Manchester United, so no risks with him. He's off the bench. And Salvador has been shattered as well. He's not starting today. I'm hoping we can get through this game without needing him, because I'd like to just have him rested for the United game. And then a few of the other changes are just because of poor performances. But then our strike partnership today didn't particularly play well when we played against Manchester United. So we're going to make do with what we've got today. Fingers crossed it's going to be enough. And fingers crossed we can get 3 points to keep that pressure on Real Madrid. I say keep the pressure on Real Madrid. The pressure isn't on them. The pressure's on us. We need to make sure that we don't slip up. And this, against a team that's not doing as well as it should be, could be a bit of a banana skin. So we need to try and make sure that it's not, and we need to try and make sure that we get the things done right. Right, Vandenberg with a throw-in. But he doesn't mess that up, so that's a good sign. Ball to Rebel now. Rebel looking to get the ball forward into Rodriguez, who really is starting to become my preferred holding midfielder, which I did think would happen. And Elia Wahi's there from the Hlajek cross. The flag is not up. I think this is going to be given. The Sociedad players are not happy with the referee, but I think we're going to be 1-0 up here, and we are 1-0 up. And I tell you what, Salvador is without question the best striker at the club, best striker in the league according to the season preview. But I think Hlajek and Wahi are a better combination. It's just that Salvador just gets so many goals that he just fits with either of them well enough that he can get them, because he's just an absolute freak of a goal machine. So I want to change that to the table. It won't let me. So, but it's weird because I do think they are a better partnership. I mean, loose touch there from Wahi, which is a bit disappointing. I am really, really happy with the signing of Elia Wahi. He's done a really good job for us this season. He's had a couple of flat moments, but on the whole, he's been really good. Ball in, looking for Maria. Can't quite find it, but it's a mistake from Alex Ramiro, and Adam Hlajek has got a goal. Oh, we need to see that again. What has happened there? Right, Nico intercepts there. Really well done. Gets it to Wahi. Wahi goes all the way back to Rodriguez. Finds Nico. Lofts it in. Oh, that's poor. That's so poor from the keeper. He's just dropped it into the path of Adam Hlajek. And Adam Hlajek makes it 2 when that should have been a simple routine catch. And that, well, I mean, you look at where Sociedad are in the table. Maybe things like that are explained. But Alex Ramiro, I've got in my head, he's not a bad keeper. But we are in the future. Maybe he's dropped a little bit. But that is so poor. That's some of the worst goalkeeping I've seen on this game. I've seen worse goalkeeping on this game, but just for a basic thing, that is not good. Ball to Renan. Renan's gone for a lovely goal here, and he's gone and scored it unless it's been disallowed. There's movement in the flag. The goal alert was in the way of the linesman. I think this has been disallowed. No, the hands are up. It's going to be allowed. Yeah, there we go. Lovely goal from Renan, who's in just as rotation today. Ball to him. Why on earth we've gone with that? I don't think we've got anything set up to try something like that. I don't care. As long as it works, I'm not bothered. I've got a tuft of hair that I can see on my OBS. Again, I've got my OBS over on a monitor over here, and I can just see a tuft of hair giving me the Superman quiff, which is not the look I was going for today, but oh well. Right, highlight again. Ribel gets it to Rodriguez, and we build again from the back. Ball out to Ribel. Again, that was a great goal from him. Lovely strike from the backup left back. Wahi now into Navarro. Navarro over to Maria. Into Hlajek. That's offside. 100% that's offside. Let's not get excited for that one. It's going to be 3-0 still. Very, very much an offside goal there from Hlajek. Not worried about getting excited about that one. No arms are going up. No one's kidding themselves with that one. We'll watch it again just to see how badly offside he was. But to my eye, I could see it. He's actually gone early, then come back, and then gone again. But he's still horribly timed it. Maria robbed of an assist. Not having the best of games, Maria. Not having a bad one, but I would have liked to have seen him get an assist there just to pick things up a little bit. But it is a disallowed goal. It is still 3-0 though. I'm not going to complain about that. We've got the 3 goals that I normally like to get to feel a bit more comfortable in a game, which is good to see. It's also good to see Vandenberg having a good game as well. But the yellow card worries me. I am just going to tell him to calm down. Adam Hlajek scored while I've been doing that, by the way. I'm going to leave the other bit that I'm going to do. But Adam Hlajek has got 2 goals today. I don't think we need to bring Johnny Salvador on. I think we're good without him. The corner's from Navarro. It's whipped in. Vandenberg, Riyad, Chad. Everyone is at that corner, including Nico. And it's actually flicked on to Hlajek, who doesn't even get an assist. So I think it's flicked on by a defender. But he gets his second goal. And that is half-time. And I am very happy with that first half. Very happy indeed. There's no one I need to tell off. You two, I'm just going to say you weren't that bad. I'm going to tell Vandenberg he needs to calm himself down. I'm also going to take Vandenberg off hard tackling. I just don't want him to do anything silly. I'd like him to get out of this game with a good rating in the hope that he can carry that form on into the next game. I will probably give him like the last 20 minutes, 15 minutes off just because we'll rest him and make sure he's completely fully fit. He'll have had enough time to get some sharpness up by then. We'll just make sure he's fit for Manchester United. We don't want to take any chances with him when he's like the only player we'll have available who will be fit, who can play right back. Ball forward comes to nothing for Sociedad, and we get the possession again. Nico now coming forward. Into Eliawa, he puts it wide. His touch not great there. Renan on the ball though, looking to whip the ball in. He does. Looking for Maria, and actually Ramon Maria, who I didn't think was going to do anything there, caught me off guard. He's gone and got us a fifth, and it's a lovely little header from a player who he's not known for his aerial prowess at our club. He's known for being a runner. He's known for being a kind of a dynamic kind of player who drifts out wide and does things and runs into the box. I mean, he's got no one really challenging him. He's got two people in front of him, but they don't seem to recognise his existence. And he makes it 5 because he's given the opportunity to make it 5. And there we go. He gets a goal contribution. I'm delighted with that. I'm very delighted with that. Now, having said that, he is now tiring. I mean, well, do you know what? We won't be rude. Let's see the highlight. Navarro with the corner, whips it in. He's looking for one of our boys. I mean, if Flajak got a hat-trick, I'd be delighted. Riyad heads down to Maria. To Renan. Is Renan going to go for another worldie? He did, you know. He actually did. He thought, let's do it again. Let's see if we can do the same trick. Right, Riyad now. Out wide to Renan. Renan going to whip it in, or he's going to wait for support? I think he's waiting for support here. Gets Nico in the form of that support. Into Navarro. Over into Flajak. And there is his hat-trick. No flag is up. He has got his 3 goals today. Adam Flajak. 6-0 Deportivo versus Sociedad. This is the perfect way to set ourselves up for the game against United in the semi-final of the Champions League. It's a weird thing to say. Ball into Navarro. I mean, he just squares it across. That's beautiful. Lovely play. 6-0. Job's done. Right, we can start thinking about let's save a few players. Maria is tired. Let's bring him off. I didn't want to click on him. Let's bring him off. We'll bring on Chris Furich, give him a few minutes as well to bask in front of the crowd today. Navarro, we'll leave Navarro on. I'm going to take Klajek off, but we're going to move to... I've actually redone my tactics a little bit, so everything is the same on this tactic. It's just you've seen me switch to this a few times, where we go with the 2 attacking midfielders instead of the 2 strikers. I'm just going to switch that back as well because I haven't done that. But I had a bit of a mess around with this tactic. It's literally the same tactic. Everything's the same. I just moved one of the strikers down. So we'll move to this one for the final half an hour of the game. It's not going to ruin anything. The tactic is pretty much the same. I'll leave that for changes. There is an injury to one of the boys we brought off. I think it was actually to Maria, so we brought him off at the right time. Yeah, let's see whether we can just see the game out. Well, we're going to see it out. It's 6-0. Get another goal, I'll be even more happy. But I'm quite happy with us just seeing the game out here. And we're going to just wait a little bit longer. We'll make a few more changes, just so we can be as fresh as we can be. Right, Boedo with the corner, whipping it in, looking for the head of Vandenberg. And Sepp Vandenberg, who will be having a starring role in the semi-final of the Champions League, purely by the fact that we've got no one else, has gone and not only put in a good performance today, he's gone and scored a goal as well. And it's 7. What a statement performance this is from us. Absolute statement performance. Right, I am now going to take off Rodriguez. We're going to bring on Yepes. And then I'm just looking in terms of who do we feel like we should be protecting for the next game. I don't really know the answer to that question. What I think I will do is I'm going to take off Vandenberg now. And we'll bring on Sasha Bowie for the last little bit. And then I might not even make any more changes. I mean, I might bring Labello on in the last 10 minutes just to get him some minutes. But that might be the only other change that I make because I'm quite happy with everyone else out there. Right. Can we make it 8? Why not? Why the devil not? Heads it down, gets it to Boedo. That was Riyad who headed it down initially. And now it's out wide to Renan. Back to Danny Boedo, who's having a good game from attacking midfield. He's starting to settle into that as his new position. Obviously, he's much more potent as a left winger. I'm much more confident starting him when he's a left winger. But he's starting to look good off the bench. And, you know, having a player who can come off the bench and do that is a handy thing to have. Right, Renan now. He's had a great game today. trying to get it to Chris Furic, who just kind of stood there, and Caio Henrique comes and intercepts. We're going to try and intercept them now, hopefully. The pressing is great considering how far we're in the game. And Elia Wahi just intercepts on the passing error there from Sociedad, and it is a hat-trick for him as well. It's amazing what those two can do when they're given the chance and when they just play to their potential. Caio Henrique gets it to Marino. Marino back to Henrique. It's Henrique's pass here. No one wants to claim it. It's meant to be to the keeper, but the defenders just don't even think to intercept, just in case anything goes wrong. And Elia Wahi gets his own hat-trick as well. And it is 8-0. Wow, we just don't care today, do we? Right, I'm going to take off... Yepes is injured. Hopefully he'll be fine. We're going to take off Navarro and bring on Labello, as we mentioned before, and just give him a 10-minute run out. Takefusa Kubo is injured in the middle there for them as well, so we've got an injury on each side. And although Yepes doesn't look like he's actually injured, it's just that his fitness is low, so maybe he's shaking it off. Right, big ball forward from Sociedad, from Ramiro, the goalkeeper, but we just claim it again. Those balls have not worked for them all day. Right, Nico now, drifting out wide, looking for Boedo, can't quite get it to him. Do give Sociedad the ball back, and now they're going to see if they can get something going. I mean, that looked offside to me. It is offside. Yeah, there we go. I could be a linesman. If I can get some way where I'm not having to run up and down, because I'm not going to... I'm very, very comfortable in my abilities and lack thereof. I'm not keeping up with the play. So if there's a way for me to do it, Danny Boedo should have made it 9 there. The way for me to do it, where the running bit is automated, if I'm on like a chair that just slides along like that, I could be a top linesman. Might just stick to Football Manager. Right, Bowie now, running into the box. Is he getting in any action? He tried to. He's won a corner. Not that we need one, but we'll take it. The thing that I want, and I'm going to jinx it now, is I want a clean sheet. We've put in the performance offensively. Let's put it in defensively as well. But also, 8 goals. It doesn't make up much of the goal difference between us, but it does make it up a little bit, and it makes it look a little bit less impressive on their part that we're also keeping up with them. But again, another clean sheet. And I think that's the golden glove for Carnesecchi, because I think he's now got 6 clean sheets more than the Real Madrid goalkeeper with 4 games left after this one. So I think Carnesecchi, who I believe won their clean sheets award last season, I think he's going to win it again this year. So he's going to win it 2 years in a row. What a performance that was by not even just Adam Hlajek. I mean, he gets a 10 out of 10 there, and we subbed him off. It wasn't even just him. So many players. I mean, shock result. I mean, that's a bit harsh. I don't think it's that much of a shock. But there you go. 34 games played. We've only got the 4 left. I think it's going to be safe to say, if I'm right, not that this majorly matters, but I'm interested in it. I do think, yeah, 6 clean sheets. So we need another 2 games for Canizares to catch up to that, as well as the Barcelona goalkeeper. Carnesecchi is the difference in terms of goalkeepers at the moment. And he has been sensational for us. I mean, Canizares is a very good goalkeeper, arguably possibly a better goalkeeper. Kochen I don't know much about, American. I mean, just looking at him there, eyeballing him, he doesn't look as good. But some of these that are 16s and 17s, if they are that high, they would be in the green. That would make it look more impressive. I just think we picked really well when we saw Carnesecchi available. I mean, he's a worldwide commanding goalkeeper. He's professional. He's not the perfect goalkeeper. We've seen him make mistakes, but what a job he's done for us. And again, if we look at the actual overall table, our goal difference again against is still 21. Real Madrid's is 23. It's very close between us two on that, but you can see how much we've closed that 4 gap with that massive win. Right. None of that is really important. What's important is the following game. Manchester United, Champions League. This is the big one. Martinez doubtful, Bowie suspended. Both of them right backs, both of them problems. So we've got 3 days left until we get to that game. Herculano will be fitting too. Martinez misses it completely. So Herculano... The question is, do we start Herculano? I normally wouldn't hesitate in a big game. But with that injury, he's not played in 3 games. Or is it 3 games or 2 games? It might be 2 games. He's not played in 2 games. He probably could play. But I don't know. I don't know whether we risk it. Or maybe we just keep him on the bench in case we need him. And we keep Rebel and Riyad, who have formed a solid partnership in his absence. Maybe we just go with that. I think we might do that, which is a bit of a controversial thing. We are going to put Ilic back in. Even though Ilic doesn't like big games, he hasn't really shown that I don't think. I think he's been pretty good for us. So we'll pop him back in. I'll keep Rodriguez in there. I mean, Gonzalez really should be starting, but I'm going to go with Litzkas just because Litzkas is my boy. Although we need to have a word with him with his developments a little bit. But he is my boy. Navarro is going to come out for Veloso. I've got faith in Veloso. Now, the problem is, Vlasic and Wahi. What do we do with them? Because they've both just scored hat-tricks. I should not, under any circumstances, I'm going to just rest Salvador for another day just to make sure he is as fully fit as he can be. I should not be taking either of these boys off after the performances they just put in. It's a huge call if we leave Johnny Salvador, who's wanted by Manchester United, out of this game. And I don't think I have the ability to do it. So we're not doing it. We're going to have him on. I think Salvador does play a little better with Hlajak, and Veloso does a good job there when he's with the crew as well. So that's probably going to be the starting 11. I am going to marinate on that over the next 3 in-game days, and then we'll come back and see whether we can get to a very unlikely, but very welcome if we do, Champions League final. Utter madness to think about. Okay, we are back for the game against Manchester United. Just to quickly show you our schedule in the Champions League for this season, just so we can compare it to Manchester United. So, we've obviously had some games against some big teams in the Champions League. It is usually balanced out. We did quite well at the beginning of our run. We did have a bit of a sticky patch against Real Madrid and Inter, but then we did pick things up against Rangers, along with a draw against United, funnily enough, in the group stage, followed by a loss against Paris Saint-Germain. Since then, though, we did knock out AC Milan with a draw and then a win, the win being at home. Real Madrid with a sensational 1-0 win away from home in the second leg after a 2-2 draw. Newcastle, after losing the first leg away, battering them at home, and having the same combination of away and home in this one, a draw against United. We've been pretty good at home, other than the Real Madrid game in the group or league stage, as it's called. Now, compared to that, Manchester United, how have they been doing? So, just in general, how they've been doing. They've actually had a really good month of April, but they have lost since they played us against West Ham United away from home. They now play away from home against us today. Now, their Champions League section looks like this. Obviously, much better than us because, you know, it's Manchester United. Benfica beat them. Paris Saint-Germain lost against them. They then had Braga and Qarabag. They're probably the teams you would expect them to be. A draw against AC Milan is an interesting one. Beating Leipzig, drew against us, of course, and then they rounded things off with a win against Copenhagen. Now, remember, they did not have to go through the playoffs like we did. They got straight through to the round of 16, so they've only played 2 ties. 4 matches, of course, over the 2 ties. They do 2 different rounds. That's the one I'm looking for, the 2 different rounds. So, round 1 for them was the round of 16 against Dortmund. Smashed them in the first leg, did lose against them tightly in the second. Then Leipzig, 2-1 in the first leg at home. Away from home, a little bit trickier as well. This is going to be an interesting one because they battered Dortmund at Dortmund Stadium. That means it's not necessarily going to be a complete and utter whitewash that you could look at our results and expect, but we'll see what happens. I mean, they're currently 6th in the Premier League. They're not doing particularly well. We've got to take advantage of that, surely. So your 11 for the Champions League semi-final, second leg against Manchester United, and nearly said Real Madrid again, at home, is as follows. It is Karnasecki in goal, Vandenberg, Ribal, Riyad and Ilic in defence, Rodriguez, Maria, Litzkas and Veloso in the middle, with Hlajek and Salvador starting as the strikers up front. The big call is Herculano. He's missed the last 2 games. I think it is only the last 2 games. Let me have a quick double check just to make sure. It is only the last 2 games. You can see he has been playing quite regularly for us. But we are going to give him a miss on this one. We are going to potentially bring him on if we feel like we need a bit more defensive stability. But we're going to go with Ribel and Riyad, who have done a good job in the last couple of games, in particular away from home at Old Trafford in the first leg. And then, of course, Vandenberg at right back because we have no other options. The 2 players who are not available for this game are both of our right backs. So let's just see whether we can get the job done. We know that Vandenberg is going to be tired. We know that he's going to not be playing in his best position. And when I say tired, because he's not been playing regularly for us. But he showed in the last game he can do the job capably. He even scored as well. He will be an extra threat from set pieces. That's the other way to kind of look at it, because he is an aerial threat as a central defender. There was part of me that thought, do we play him as an inverted fullback? But that feels like it will just... It's better to have him playing out of position than us going with a completely different kind of way of playing our back four. I think it would just confuse us a bit. So we're sticking with what we know. Wish us luck. Again, 1-1 from the first leg at Old Trafford. We are at the Riazza now. It is down to us to see whether we can put them on the back foot, get some chances early on, and make it a Champions League final. What feels like it would be an unlikely Champions League final, I have to admit. But Manchester United, again, have shown in Europe they can batter a team at their place. They nearly score there. Dedic, their left back, having an early opportunity, winning a corner. So we do need to be aware that they were pretty good at set pieces. Their goal came from a bit of a scrappy set piece in that first leg. It wasn't directly from it, but it certainly developed from the set piece. Bit concerned that they've got us pegged in at the moment in the first 10 minutes. Another set piece coming in here from Bruno Fernandes, who is still at Manchester United. A lot of the Manchester United players are still where you'd expect them to be. Højlund is still there. Lisandro Martinez is still there. Rashford is still there. There's still a number of those players who you would expect to be there still with the Red Devil shirt on. Right. Maria into Veloso. Veloso, heavy touch, but actually does well for him, actually. Ilic now into Salvador. Salvador, who's been forced out wide here, loses the ball against Boquete. Does do that, Salvador, when he tries to dribble a little bit sometimes. Sometimes he just, I don't know. Let's just think about him in terms of his general play, but he just gets in positions for goals. Right, Ilic now. We've managed to get the ball back to Litzkas. Looking for Veloso. Veloso somehow gets to Salvador. He has 2 bites at the cherry, and on the second one, he goes and eats it. It's 1-0. It's Deportivo 1, Manchester United 0. It's 2-1 overall on the tie. We might be playing a Champions League final in this save, and it might be this season, in Season 7. Is it Season 7 or Season 8? I've lost track. Either way, I don't really care at the moment. We're 1-0 up against United in the 12th minute. They were battering us with corners. We come back out, and then we get them with a Johnny Salvador goal, and that makes me feel better about the decision. Salvador, or do we go with Flajak and Wahi after the last game with their 2 hat-tricks? But Salvador is the best striker at the club, best striker in the league. It just would be wrong not to play him. Flajak now looking for a goal himself, doesn't get it, but does some good work there. I have changed Ramon Maria's instructions, by the way, because he does love a shot. His finishing isn't very good. I've changed it, and I'm also trying to train him so he looks for the pass rather than to score. And I'm hoping he gets the message with that and he stops trying to bloody shoot all of the time. Whether it does work or not, I don't know. United haven't battered us. We've definitely been better possession-wise, but they have had a number of chances more than we have. But ours have been kind of more fruitful or efficient. We've had more of our shots on target than they have of theirs. We've had the same amount on target, but they've had 2 extra shots than we have. Right, Garnacho with the heavy touch. Ilic now goes all the way back to Karnasechi. Going out to Riyad, and Riyad now looking to build from the back over to Rebel. He has got Sepp Vandenberg at right back, which is still a concern, to play with. He gets the ball to him, goes back to Rebel. Vandenberg, the least amount of time he can have on the ball, the better. Ball to Litzkas now. Over to Adam Hlojek. Is Adam Hlojek offside? He is. It's not going to be 2-0. No excitement here. Adam Hlojek, mind you, in the last game that happened, and he scored a hat-trick. So, we can hope. We can hope. Is disallowed. There is confirmation of that. It was a lovely goal, but it will not count. Let's have a look here. So Vandenberg gets to Litzkas, and it's not a million miles offside. Hlojek's one in the last game was a lot worse. It's not a million miles off, but it is definitely off. That is half-time. We lead the tie by 1-0, which means it's 2-1 on aggregate. We have a toe. Our big toe is in the Champions League final. I'm going to say that one, and let's just have a look. So the 6.7s will tell them they can do better. Maria's not had a good game. I mean, it's the stage is set up for Chris Furich. It really is. And I'm going to tell Vandenberg that, you know, I can't have a go at him because, you know, he's doing us a solid by playing there. Right. Anything we can do here? I'm going to get further forward off. I'm not really that comfortable with him getting further forward. I'm going to take stay wider off. I would rather him stay a bit more defensive rather than offering us the width, because Maria can offer us the width. So I'm going to let him kind of stay in a little bit. And then Maria, he runs wide with the ball. I'm actually going to change him to a Mazzala. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because we're not going to have the width here. He's probably going to go around here. But instead of going here and then drifting out a little bit, he will automatically go out here, is my theory. I don't know whether it works like that, but that's what I'm going to try and go for. We're going to keep him on shoot less often because I don't trust him. And we'll probably go with that. Right, is anyone on the yellow card? No, which is great. Okay. We'll go again. We'll just see if Maria can get the job done. Actually, one thing we will do is we're going to check out their team. They've got some players on yellows, but they don't have anyone who's been subbed in or out. So we'll leave things as they are. We'll go into the second half, and we'll see whether we can get a second to try and put this tie to bed. Right, Veloso, part of the kickoff. We've another highlight from a kickoff, which you don't get very often, but makes me wonder whether we're going to get something here. Maria looking for Salvador. Salvador gets bundled to the floor, and we might have a penalty. We actually might have a penalty. And we might be going through to the Champions League final if we score it. If it gets given. It has been given. And it's going to be Johnny Salvador, I think, to take. It is Johnny Salvador to take. It's clapping. I mean, don't give yourself a round of applause before you score. He's gone and scored, though. It is 2-0 on the night. At home, we've built some team. We really have. I mean, we've got the makeshift right back in, but we've got one of the best goalkeepers in the league. He's not playing tonight, but the best centre-back in the league, or one of the two best centre-backs, the best striker in the league. We've got a solid midfield rotation. We've got very good backup strikers. And when our right back's fit, he's pretty good as well, and our left back's pretty good too. We have built ourselves a pretty handy team that when in the... I mean, they're in the right formation today. You know, once we found out that the diamond was the way to go, they've really not looked back. And it feels like we've cracked the code on beating some of the bigger teams. We're not going to beat them all the time, but we've got to the point where we can actually get good results against them sort of regularly. Salvador does well to hold off the tackle from Hoyland there, and we do still have possession now. Carnesecchi, building from the back here. Rebel, over to Maria. Maria, not a great performance from him, but he gets the ball to Joe Veloso. It's a lovely pass from him, and Joe Veloso just puts it over. Unlucky from Veloso. Hasn't played that well in the last couple of games. I can forgive that, though, because he has had a good season. He is usually a good player for us. Right, we're going to be thinking about substitutions in a minute. Fernandez goes for the worldie. Carnesecchi doing the work there. Thing of beauty. Happy days. Just words coming out of my mouth there. Right, Fernandez now with the corner. They need a goal, and they need it sooner rather than later. Carnesecchi just comes and clears. He doesn't do a Ramiro from the last game, where just Sociedad's goalkeeper just decided he didn't want a goalkeeper anymore halfway through catching a ball. Right, Litzkas hasn't been brilliant, so we're going to bring on Gonzalez. And I am going to bring on Chris Furic as well. And I think we're going to make it a triple. We're going to bring off Veloso and bring on Navarro or Boedo. I kind of want to bring Boedo on. Doesn't like big games, though. Detests big games, so no. Navarro is the safe option. We'll do that. And I'm tempted to take Klajek off. But I'll think about that, because we might change it to the two attacking midfielders just to give us a bit more in that middle. But do we need it? We probably don't need it, to be fair. But I might do that. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what to do. Maybe we do that, because then I can bring Boedo on, even though I've just said it's probably not a good idea. But I like to contradict myself. I might just leave it at that. What I am actually going to do, I'm going to take Riyadh off, and we're going to bring on Herculano, because it's not the best of games from Riyadh. We'll bring on the big boy. He can have some minutes out there. That feels like the right thing to do. And then we've still got that final sub we can make with 10 minutes to go. Feels like the right thing to do. And also then, the closer we get to the end, the more I'm thinking, do we change to the more defensive formation? Which I don't think I showed you. I have got a defensive formation set up, which I have kind of utilised. They've gone 4-4-2, I've just realised. And Salvador's there! Far post. He could have had a hat-trick there. Doesn't get it, though. Right. Final change. And I'm thinking, the defensive formation is this one. It's very defensive. I'm not doing that. I think we will switch to this, though. Klajek hasn't had the best of games, so I'm thinking we take him off, and I will bring Boedo on, even with my concerns. It just gives us an extra body here, and then Salvador can do the job up front as an advanced forward. He can do that job okay. So I think we are going to do that. Vandenberg hasn't been brilliant, but, I mean, what do you expect? But Furic can still get in and do his thing as well. I think this is the right thing to do. We'll do that. And they have changed to a 4-4-2. So I think the players are set up, if I'm right, to go out wide to the fullbacks. They are, yeah. Which is probably right for a 4-4-2, which they've gone for. Right, United now looking for an opportunity to get a goal back, to try and claw this into extra time. Vandenberg does well to head away, but We lack the second striker. That's the one problem with changing this system now. We headed for the second striker when he wasn't there. Oh, Rodriguez did well, but then didn't do well. And Carnesecchi with a big save. How big could that save be come the end of the 90 minutes and the end of added time? It is a corner. Bozdogan, I don't know who you are, but he's taking the corner for United. Herculano heads out. It only goes as far as Bruno Fernandes, international teammates, I'm sure. And United have a chance to build from the back. They go all the way back, I can't speak, to their goalkeeper, but nothing comes of it. And the highlight ends. We have competed so closely with United here, and I think we've done enough. We're in added time. They need 2 goals. They're not getting 2 goals. We are through to our first Champions League final with Deportivo La Coruña. I don't know. I'm going to double check whether they've ever done this before. But we're through to the Champions League final. And I remember saying I'd wear a suit. I don't really want to, but I'm going to honour it. Yeah, at least I'll wear the top half anyway. We're through to a Champions League final. We spent a lot of money to do it, but we are through. Salvador delivering the goods. A goal in each half. That's really annoying. So, Litzkas has asked for a new contract. The problem being, of course, we've got a salary cap. This would actually take it over that cap. He actually doesn't, which I don't really understand, but it is what it is. Salvador is knackered. That's fine. He's going to not play him against Vallecano. And it's Bayer Leverkusen in the final. Bayer Leverkusen in Baku. In Azerbaijan. Is it? I think it says Baku on here. Is it Baku? I think that is in Baku. But we are going to be playing against Bayer Leverkusen. Who did they play in their semi-final? How did they get to the semi-final? I've got to see this. Let's have a look at their run in the Champions League while we're here. Video is already ridiculously long. Let's just have a look at it as we go. Well, apparently they've not played in the Champions League this season. Oh, senior squad, that would help. So let's have a look. They had an unbeaten league stage. Look at the state of that. So they played Rennes, beat them, drew against Juventus, drew against Porto. They drew against a few good teams here. Rangers they beat, not as much as we did. Barcelona they drew against, heavily scored. Real Madrid 2-2, beat Dortmund, beat St. Gallen. And then here in the knockouts, won against United, won against City in the first leg, away from home. Lost at home, but won on penalties. Beat Roma away from home, lost against them at home, won on penalties. Then destroyed Atletico Madrid away from home, and then actually beat them in the second leg away from home as well. So at home, 6-0, away from home, 3-2. So a mixed run of games for them. I mean, this has me intrigued. They seem to be better away from home, more or less, than they are at home. I mean, it's a neutral venue, so it doesn't really matter, but that is an interesting way to see it. They're second in the Bundesliga. Who's top? Oh, gee, I wonder. So, yeah, that's going to be fun. Right, well, I said this wasn't going to be the last season of the save. I don't intend it to be. We're still kind of a decent distance away from Football Manager 2025 coming out, so I'm probably going to still go another season or two. The fact that we've got to a Champions League final, whatever happens in that, may change my viewpoint on it. But I do kind of want to carry on with this team, especially because I think we have a responsibility to try and help the financial side of things at the club. I mean, we don't have a lot of money to play with in terms of transfer market, but we do need to try and help this, I think. And I also do want to see us into the new stadium. So maybe we just plough through the next couple of seasons a bit quicker than we have done. Because this season, I think we're going to have more episodes in it than we've had for a while in a season. So maybe we just try and plough through next season a little bit. We focus a bit more on certain aspects of the save rather than the other aspects. Maybe we focus on the financial rebuilding side of things. And again, with the players that we've got, we could see some of these guys leave. Salvador could go. Herculano could go. Maria could go. Even Wahi could go. Even Hajek could go. Nico Gonzalez has been rumoured to leave. Veloso. We could end up having to do a whole rebuild, but we'd have the money to do it. That's the thing. So, anyway, that's for another time. I'm going to go away. I'm going to have a lie down because I need one. And we're going to come back, first of all, for a very difficult pair of games. We've got a difficult, 3-game stretch at the end of the season. But we are going to come back for those two, and then we'll have the Champions League final in its own video. That feels like the right thing to do. And then we'll discuss what we're going to do with the save, because I feel like winning the Champions League final kind of puts a button on everything, but there is that other aspect of the save to kind of explore, and that aspect would be the financial side of things and trying to rebuild after having such a great team. I just want to see if any of the other players have nudged their way into anything here. Salvador I think was already in favour of personnel. I want to see Furic go over to here, maybe helping us, maybe vice captaining us, because I think he's the vice captain still. He is. Maybe vice captaining us to a Champions League win would be the thing. Maybe the final is enough. I don't know. But that is going to do it for today's video. I will see you for the final 2 games of the league season, where we can see whether we get over the line. What I might do to speed things up, if we win the league title at Valencia, or we've already won it by the time we get to Valencia, I will either play Valencia, and if we win the league title there, great, and then we'll skip to the Champions League final. If we don't win the league title, we'll play Valencia and Barcelona. If we've already won the league title because Real Madrid slip up after these 2 games, I will show you Barcelona, and I will then do the Champions League final in that video as well. So there's a couple of different ways the next episode or 2 could go. You're just going to have to wait to find out, see which one it's going to be. Thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed today's video, again, don't forget to leave a like on there for me. I think a Champions League final definitely deserves it. And also, don't forget to subscribe. Completely free to do so. And you put a big smile on this face right here. I've been Stu. You guys have been awesome. And I'll see you next time. Cheers.